Hey everyone, we are back here live at Blitsy, and I'm so excited because we have Gina from Gina K Designs here in the studio today to show us some really cool things with foil. Hey Gina.
Hey Megan, it's great to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here, and I know a lot of you that are watching probably already know Gina, some of you may not. So for those that don't know you, give them maybe a quick little rundown of who you are and how you got started in foiling, card making, etc.
Well, I started a long time ago. I went to a typical home party and had a great time stamping there and left wanting everything in the catalog. And
per usual, right?
Right, yeah. Signed up and I did home parties for many, many years, and then one day I thought, maybe some of my drawings could be stamps, and Gina K Designs was born.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago, about a year ago, I came up with this idea to work with the deco foil products.
Which we love here at Blitsy.
Yeah. And I reached out to Tonic and we got together, and it was a year in the making. We came up with the Foil Mates line, and today I want to show you how to make a card from start to finish using the Foil Mates products.
The first time we got our hands on these, I started playing with them, and you really made it so easy because everything works together. So it takes kind of the guesswork out of creating cards, but B, foiling. Everything is so simple. You can be as basic as you want if you're a starter, or you can get as elaborate and use some of the really cool techniques, which I think Gina's gonna show us today. So if you are a foil lover and you know someone that is also a foil lover, make sure you share this broadcast because we like to make it kind of a party around here. So the more the merrier. And once you see the stuff that Gina's gonna do as far as cool techniques using foil, you know you and your friends are not gonna wanna miss it. So I think we should get started. So we're gonna start with a card.
Yeah, and I thought because it's 4th of July weekend coming up,
right?
That we should do a birthday card in red, white, and blue. Perfect card for July birthdays and for the birthday of America.
And you're using all of your products.
I am. I'm going to use all the products. And this is going to be a more basic card, so anybody, even a beginner, can do this. It's very easy to do. We're going to use the fancy foils in red velvet and in turquoise sea.
I think is my favorite color of all of them.
And then we are going to use the Stars and Stripes pattern.
I like the stripes, the stars.
And then we're going to use the birthday essentials. We're going to cut out this big birthday greeting. And I'm also going to show you a few tips to get better results with your foiling, no matter what laminator you're using.
Today, I think people will appreciate, because I know for me, a lot of times they get kind of the laminator anxiety, which stamp anxiety sounds like, but you're always scared, like, am I going to get it right? So I think people will appreciate that. I know I do, the tips and tricks when you're foiling.
Right. Well, the first thing you want to make sure is anytime you're using a laminator, you want to make that laminator, you want to get it to heat up for at least 30 minutes.
See, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just plugged it in and be like, okay, it's ready.
Right, the green light really doesn't mean anything when it comes to this craft. You want to make sure you time it about 30 minutes and then it's ready to go. Another thing that's really important is if you're doing mass foiling, where you're just sending pieces through the laminator over and over and over again, you might find that as your pieces go on, they get a little bit spotty. And that's because every time you feed a piece through the laminator, you cool the temperature down inside.
You're like a scientist with the laminator.
So maybe do 2 or 3 pieces, turn those into cards, and that gives the laminator time to get back up to temperature. So that's what we're going to do.
She is setting you up for success, so you don't have to worry about, I hope it works. That's a very good tip, because I didn't. I was like, turn it on. All right, it's ready. Let's start. Why isn't it working?
Yeah, a lot of people get in trouble with that because the green light goes on and it says ready.
Right.
That makes sense that it'd be ready, but it's not. So give it 30 minutes. We've been heating this up all morning here at Blitsy.
This guy should be nice and warm, so it should be good. All right.
Okay.
Great.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Foil Mates Stars and Stripes pack, and I'll just show you how these come. So probably should put my glasses on so I can see.
That's fine. I see that all the time. I'm like, I can't. It's fine.
So these are cut to 8.5 by 5.5. So it's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And to foil them, I like to pre-cut them before I actually send them through the laminator. This way you're not bound by doing a whole sheet in one color. You can kind of break it up. So what I've done here is I have cut out a piece, and this piece measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So I'm going to start with that. Now, one of the tips for getting great coverage with the laminator is to use parchment paper. And the parchment paper that I'm using is the one by Decofoil. It's their parchment. I get questions a lot, can I use kitchen parchment and things like that? But I've noticed that at least the kitchen parchment paper that I have at home is very thick. And it actually prevents the heat from getting onto the project. And so you want the thinnest parchment you can get.
Yeah.
So I always say, go with the deco foil, you can't go wrong. Then I have a thin piece of cardstock inside. This is an 80-pound weight cardstock, just real lightweight.
Yeah.
And you're gonna put that inside first. That's gonna do two things. That's going to increase the pressure when it goes through the machine, and it's also going to raise the piece just a little bit closer to the heating element, and that's gonna give you better coverage.
See, all these tips,
So we're going to start with the stars, and I have to think, American flag, stars are blue, stripes are red, right?
Yes.
All right, so in my line, we have a fun blue. This is the turquoise sea blue, and it may not be a traditional 4th of July blue, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to open this up and grab one little piece of foil out of here.
I love that color so much.
And then I'm going to lay down my piece on top of it, and I've just got some scissors, and I'm going to cut that just a little bit bigger than the piece of foil mate paper.
So this kind of goes with your tip of cutting it down, because obviously if you had the whole piece, you'd be foiling an entire piece and you don't want to waste that, right?
Right, and you can use that for another project or for the greeting. So we'll just hold that aside.
Well, I'll keep this nice and handy for you then.
Okay, so now I'm going to just lay this piece of foil mate's paper down and then foil side up.
Which is important, right?
Yeah,
Foil
right, yeah, you want foil side up. I always say with foil mates, everything's looking up. The piece is face up, this is face up, everything's up.
Everything is up.
Everything's up.
Everything's
and
up.
then we're gonna feed that through the laminator with the fold side going into the laminator first. Every once in a while, if you do it this way, it'll work, but these little straggly pieces can get caught up in the rollers and jam your laminator. So, do you wanna run that through for me? Okay.
With the fun part.
Yeah.
Sit there and you wait and you watch.
Yep.
I know when I first started laminating, I'm like, okay, I think I go through with the folded side for that same reason. So imagine if you're just starting, you don't know that, and it gets stuck, and then you're like, okay, I can't do this, because you get frustrated because you think this is too difficult. But no, look at how easy that is. You
Yeah,
go
it
the
goes
right
through.
Right through.
And there is a release on the back of most laminators if things do get jammed up in there. But if you do that, you're less likely to have that happen.
Yeah.
So while that's going through the laminator, we can cut out a greeting piece. So I'm going to cut out one of the greetings from the Foil Mates Birthday Essentials pieces, and I'm going to use this big birthday one. I'll show you. I have one out of the package here so you can see what it looks like. And a lot of people wonder if you need to foil the whole sheet at one time. You don't. I actually pre-cut all my pieces, and then I just grab and go.
Well, from the looks of this, you've allowed enough space here to die cut those even with different shapes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So usually when you have a long one like this, it'll work with either set of ovals, or it'll work with the rectangles. And then the shorter, fatter ones work with either the circles or the squares.
Yeah.
So
out of everything.
Yeah. And what's fun about this is if you get the die sets, you know that all of the future designs that we do, we're going to make sure that they fit within some of these different die shapes. So we're going to start with the double stitched oval. And I am going to grab the largest one. I actually have one over here ready to go. And I'm going to lay that down.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then I'm going to cut that out. And I see you've got a Sizzix machine all ready for me here.
A well-loved Sizzix machine.
Yeah.
That thing probably, do they have like shops where you can take them in to get tuned? Because I think that one probably needs a tune-up.
A tune-up?
Yeah. Do they have, I know with like sewing machines, like people work on them, but we may just need to bite the bullet and get a new one, because that thing has been
well loved.
Well loved.
But it still works.
Still
no need to get a new one. It's working.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you guys think? Are you loving the foil? Give us some love. Give Gina some love if you guys are liking what you see so far. And don't forget to share if you want to have foiling in the lives of your friends, because trust me, they're going to want this in their lives.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions or you're struggling with anything, let us know, because we'd be happy to answer questions and try to troubleshoot for you. Okay, so that is all ready to be foiled now.
And
it's got that cute
detail.
Isn't that fun?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
One of the things that a lot of folks may not know out there is that our ovals dies, well, all of our shapes, we have two sets, and they're called large and small. They're really not that much larger or smaller than the other one, but they layer, which is one of the coolest things about this.
I love layering.
I have always wanted dies that would give me that tiny little shadow layer around the background.
Yeah.
So rather than just do plain ones to do the shadow layer, we thought if we did a single stitch die for the shadow layer, you can use it as an either or. If you want a single stitch look, you can go with that. But if you want a shadow layer for the double stitch, they work together. So we're going to cut out one large single stitched oval using the black onyx cardstock. And let me grab that. So
I know, as we
here's that
mentioned
die.
last time we did a live with Gina, there really are so many possibilities with all of the products you've created in this line, which, I mean, the creativity you can have with this, I think, is endless, right? I feel like you keep evolving as well. The more you kind of play with it, it's so much fun.
And for those of you that are stampers or you do scrapbooking and you like to cut mats, these dies work great for across the board.
Right.
They're not any different than, you know, another type of die. They work the same way through the same machine, but the shapes are perfect for stampers and scrapbookers making picture mats.
So versatile.
So I'm going to cut this, but I want to show you where I'm cutting it. I'm going to cut this right dead center in this piece of cardstock because we're going to save a little bit, be a little bit frugal, and we're going to use this piece then as a layer for behind that foil mates piece.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, so we're going to do that.
Layers.
All the layers.
I like it.
It's going to be fun.
So if I'm just asking, when you do foil something, do you have to let it cool or can you instantly rip it off and it doesn't matter?
You can instantly rip it off. It does not
I'll
matter.
let you do the honors, but I was wondering that when I foiled for the first time, like, do you let it cool first, then peel? But it doesn't matter.
Nope, it doesn't matter.
Right, good
yeah,
to know.
it's ready to go right away.
Good to know.
All right, and so there are the pieces that we're going to use for the card. So now let's grab that out of there.
Right. I'm going to let you.
All right, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see the big reveal. Okay. All right, and now we're going to peel that away, and we have all of those beautiful stars.
So pretty.
Isn't that fun?
So fun.
Okay.
And so simple. You literally just laid foil on top of that, put it through the laminator, and voila, you have a gorgeous pattern with foil, like shimmery foil turquoise color. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So pretty.
All right, so we're going to tape this together. I just have a little sticky dot runner here, and I'm going to add just a little bit on the four corners. We don't need a ton.
Just a little.
Just a little. And then I'm going to layer that onto this piece. Let's get some room here. All right. We'll lay that on there.
Perfect.
I always get nervous trying to do perfect layers on live.
I know. I'm always like, it's
right?
about right. It's fine. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
All right, and then we need a card base. So I have a piece of the turquoise sea card base, which matches our turquoise sea foil.
Everything coordinates.
And
Everything coordinates.
I've just cut this in half. This comes in the 8.5 by 11 sheet, so you can cut it either long ways and make a top folding card, or you can cut it sideways and make a side folding, like a book folding card. But one thing I will say about this cardstock, it is very heavyweight.
Well, that was one of the first things that I noticed about this when we got this in was, this is really nice quality cardstock. When I started creating, I'm like, this is, I mean, everything in your line is high quality, but when you throw this in here and all the foil, you're giving a gift of a high quality card. I mean,
yeah,
that's a nice cardstock.
It's 100 pound, it's sturdy, you can put tons of layers and embellishments on top and it won't tip over if they put it up. So, but the one thing with a heavier cardstock is it is a good idea to score it instead of just trying to fold it so you don't get the cracking.
That's fine.
So for scoring cardstock, one little tip is, and this is, which scoring? This is the Martha Stewart? Okay, this is a nice scoreboard. There's all different ones out there, and they're all a little bit different. But the thing is that most people put it right up against here.
Yeah.
If you pull it down just a little bit, okay. If you pull it down just a little bit, then you can start off of the card, and it's easier to find that score line. Sometimes it's hard if it's up there to kind of jam it into the right spot.
Or maybe you don't get like a nice crisp line because it's kind of missing it.
Right. And so I always run the scoring tool down 2 or 3 times, and then the proper way to fold, some people fold inward, the proper way to fold is away from that score line. Because what you've done is you've stretched the fibers of the cardstock. So just in case somebody might not have known that, that's a little helpful. And then I use the back of the tool just to create that perfect crease. And you can see crack-free, ready to go. All right.
Look at that.
So now we're going to, we'll leave these pieces because we might do something fun with ribbon. So let's get to.
We're not done yet with the design. We might add more.
No.
Let's allow room in case. Because we know how we are as crafters. We just keep going. Because why not?
Exactly. So I've cut a strip out of the stripes pattern from the Stars and Stripes.
Okay.
And again, just a little piece. So I haven't ruined that whole piece putting.
You've just clipped what you needed.
Exactly. And then I'm going to cut a little piece of the red velvet foil. So I'm going to grab that.
I'm excited to see where this is going. I see
Yeah.
your stripes, I see your stars.
Yeah.
And I love that you didn't waste that paper because you knew you were going to incorporate it into your project.
Yeah.
You totally use that piece where I'd be like, throw that away, and then I would get like another piece, but you're like, you're not going to see that cut, so.
Exactly.
Smart.
And you know, if you have any little leftover scraps
Yeah.
on any of the foil, even a little piece like this,
Yeah.
just cut that off and throw it in your little
Yeah.
scrap box. You can throw these all over the pieces of foil mates and then just peel them all off. You'll have multicolored designs.
I was just handed an official question from someone on Facebook asking you to show how to use the negative piece of foil.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
We're going to get to that for
We'll
sure.
get to that for sure.
In fact, we're going to use this red piece to show the negative.
Oh,
so
okay, it's coming.
it's coming. Yes. All right.
So you're doing the
we're
same
just gonna-
thing, you're
same
using your
thing,
sandwich.
right? Laying it down there, making sure it's completely underneath, and
I got my
you
job.
do
I
the
gotta
honors.
Put it through the laminator again. The most important job. Don't mess
Right.
it up again.
Okay, so what color should we do this? Do you want to do it blue or do you want to do it red?
Let's go red.
Yeah, let's go
Why
red.
not?
I agree.
Why not?
All right, so again, I'm just going to cut out enough, and don't worry, it doesn't have to cover the whole oval. It just has to cover the black print.
See, I wouldn't have thought. I would have gone outside the whole oval.
No,
and waste.
you don't need to do that.
You're like waste nothing, and that's really my motto. I just clearly with the foil wasn't thinking, but
See,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
just
you're
plenty right there.
Exactly
Yeah.
what you need. Perfect.
So look at how much we have left. We could do
so
three
many
more
I have
cards out
so
of
many
that piece.
scraps. And that's the other thing. If you're smart about it, this does go a long way. But if you're even smarter about it, it can go even longer because you have so many little pieces. Like you said, you can save that. You can use the negative for a project. So
Absolutely.
you really waste nothing.
Nothing.
Which is great.
All right, so you want to grab that out of the
Grab one
laminator,
piece.
and we will
Got
peel.
distracted.
Okay.
Always talking too much.
I love the way it looks when it
I
comes
know,
out of the
right?
laminator. It's so cool. All right, so now
Dun, dun,
look at
dun.
those beautiful stripes.
So pretty.
And that's perfect. That is just, there's
yeah,
not
look at there's nothing. No.
And you can see here what's left behind is also perfect, and that's going to be great for our negative piece that we're
Yeah.
going to show. All right, so now we have this fun piece, and we're going to just lay that right down the card right here. Actually, I'm going to cut this little bit off with scissors here.
Trim it up a little.
I'm going to trim it up just a little bit. And this way that can go kind of inside that
Perfect,
box a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be good. Okay. So I'm going to attach that onto there. We could go either way. We could go
Yeah.
this way too. What do you want to do? No, let's go this
Yeah,
way.
I go that way. You already have
Yeah,
it cut.
all
You're
right.
like-
Yeah.
I know. You're like, should I change? I know. It's like so many ideas. I
I
feel like
know,
as you start
right?
making, you get so many ideas, especially with your line. You're kind of like, wait, I can go this way. I can go that way. I could do this. I could do that.
Exactly.
It's always deciding on what to do. I feel like that's my problem.
I'm going
Do
to
you guys
move
feel
that.
the same way when you're creating? Are you always kind of like, I'm going to do this? Well, I could do that. And then, you totally deviate from the original idea, which isn't always a bad thing. You know?
That's the creativity
Yeah,
coming
right,
through, right?
right.
Let's put a little bit of ribbon on here too. I've got the fancy ribbon that's part
Yeah.
of that, the Foil Mates line, and we can add a little piece of ribbon just going down the side here to finish it off. Let's do it
Look
right
at
there.
that.
Isn't that pretty?
That's really pretty.
Okay.
And I know when I used your ribbon before, I actually used your inks to color the ribbon.
Hmm. Oh yeah, you can do that for sure.
Yeah, so you can use the inks that also coordinate with the foils and the papers to customize the ribbon to match as well.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun. Also, the ribbon works really well with other items too, if you have other inks in your collection, or
Yeah.
you have even markers and things like that.
Yeah.
So depending on what color you need, you can really match this ribbon spot on. So you can take these products outside of the line and
Right,
use them
right.
with your other products. All right, so
That's so pretty.
this whole thing is just going to go right onto this card base.
That is so pretty. I like where this is going.
Yeah.
I like it.
And whenever I have ribbon, I always add a little bit of tape over the tails just so they don't escape.
Keep those tails contained.
Keep them
We don't want-
contained.
We don't want any tails
exactly.
escaping.
No, we don't. Okay. All right, so now we have the card base, and all we need is a greeting. So, once
get our
again,
little paper here.
Yeah. Now you might see there are, I don't know if they can see this on the camera, but there are a few little wrinkles in the parchment paper. Okay. So if you get wrinkles in the parchment paper, you're going to get wrinkles in your foil. So what I'll do in this case is I'll just flip it over and use the other side. So you might want to use one side
Yeah.
for big pieces and one side for small pieces.
Or could you also kind of move it around the foil?
You definitely could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
could.
to kind of kind of keep it even so you don't get the same kind of impression in the same spot.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, it's my job again.
Yep, your job. Oh, go the other way.
Other way.
Yep.
This is what happens. I talk too much, and then I mess up her gorgeous project because I can't get the thing in the laminator right. All right.
So I have some of these. These are the iCraft foam squares. These are by ThermoWeb too. Really like these. One thing that's fun about these bigger ones is if you want small ones, you can always just cut them in corners.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a fine size for what we're going to do.
And just so you guys all know, if you click on the link that we have provided for you guys, that will take you to where you can see all of the products that Gina's using today, so you can scoop all of them up and add them to your stash.
Yeah.
We make it real simple around here. We like to enable, just saying.
And you can make this card throughout the whole month of July for anybody who has a July birthday.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue.
I love it.
Yep. All right, and so I'm going to peel this off. And
Voila.
then, look at that, perfect foiling.
Perfect foiling.
Every time. See, we're talking enough.
I know,
You and I talk so much that the laminator has time to heat up again.
Thanks, ladies. Let me just reboot it. Cool.
Perfect. Cool. All right, and then I'm going to layer this piece onto that first oval that we cut out.
I'm telling you guys, once this card is finished, it's like a nice, sturdy, high-quality card with really simple steps.
Yeah.
Look at
For
that.
sure. And then we're just going to lay that right here.
That's so pretty.
We'll do that with those foam squares. I'm just going to put 4 of them on here.
I know I'm always pulling for foam squares. I'm like, I need to pop that out a little. I'm just going to pop that out a little.
I love it.
I know.
Well, I think it's cool. If you pop up something like this, you can still mail it without any extra postage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yep. Because it's just, it flattens right out,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it just
yeah.
kind of
It's like, oh, it's
re-pops
fine.
up again
Yep,
when you take
yep,
it out of the card.
yep.
So,
It just
yeah.
kind of gives you that little extra bump up, just to kind of put the focus on it.
Exactly. So I cut my nails, which I'll never do again because I have trouble.
You're like, okay, hold on.
trying to make them look
short
pretty.
right now, so I can't really be any assistance to you. So,
All right, we're just going to put that right in the center. And there is the finished card.
look at
Isn't that
that.
fun? So easy, lots of shine.
So pretty.
And red, white, and blue.
I just need to feel this, you guys. I keep
Yeah.
talking about the quality. I keep looking at it because look at this card. That is a nice quality card that you can make in a few simple steps, but it looks like it costs a lot of money, right? Because it has the foil, it has the metallic touches, so.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah,
pretty.
it's real trendy.
Okay.
I think it's fun.
It's so fun.
So we
Okay.
had a question?
Okay, so we had the question about using the negatives, so
Yep,
we'll show
we're
that.
gonna do that next.
Can you use any heat machine other than a laminator?
I've only tried the product
Yeah.
with the laminators, so
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I know there are some other foiling machines out there,
Yeah.
but I think the foil that's used with them is actually a different type of
Yeah,
foil.
I think you're right. Even when you
Yeah.
feel it, it feels a little bit different.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more for like heat pressing the foil into a project, and it does
Yeah.
work a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I always say though, if you already have something, give it a try.
Yeah, you can always try. If it doesn't work, then you can get a laminator, but you would recommend using a laminator for best results.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and I always say, that's what ThermoWeb tests all their products
Right,
with. So
right.
kind of
Go
want
with what works, right?
And if something isn't working, then it's hard to tell where the
Yeah.
problems
Yep,
are.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Another question: does the foil work with stamped images?
It does. One
What?
thing that you can
I didn't know this.
Yeah, well, one thing that you can do is you can pick up a jar of the highly coveted DecoFoil transfer gel.
I keep hearing about this.
Yeah.
I clearly need to try it, but they
it's-
can't
yeah.
even keep it in stock, right? Because people are just like loving
Yeah,
it.
you guys have it.
We do.
Yeah.
Do we have?
Yeah.
It's back.
Yeah. So just put it in your cart. I mean, don't even think about it. Just
I'm sorry. You'll
put
figure
it
out what to do later. I didn't realize it was back.
I did a video with 5 different ways to use it, and
Guys.
one of the ways to use it was with stamps. So basically what you do is you take this gel,
Yeah.
and you just take a little sponge dauber and dab it onto your stamps and
Okay.
stamp it. Let it dry, put your foil on, and go through a laminator.
Stop it.
Yeah, it gives a really neat look. It's a little bit more rustic than
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
sharp, crisp look
Right,
that you
right.
get from the foil mates.
Right.
But boy, it's beautiful. So just throw that right in the cart with the rest
Add
of
it with the rest of it because you can also, I'm assuming, use it with stencils as well,
It's
right?
beautiful with stencils. And then you can take
Okay.
those negatives that you peel off from your stencils, and it gives you a ton
Okay,
more designs.
well,
So
you heard it here. You can use it for a ton of things. You can use it with
Yeah.
stamps. So yeah, maybe you should, because it sounds like if we have it, it's probably going to go fast since they can't keep it in stock. So
Yeah.
just telling you. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay, so
all right, so now
you
we're going to
can-
show that negative,
yes,
right?
Yes,
okay.
yes. So we had the negative here.
All right.
From the card that we just created.
Right. And do we have the red one? That's the one I
Yes.
want to see. Okay.
The striped one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
striped one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a little strip here. And when you're working with the negative, you always want to make sure that the piece, this is the toner paper, by the way. I didn't mention that.
Okay, good to know.
So Deco Foil has 2 different kinds of toner paper. They have the peel and stick and they have the regular toner paper. The peel and stick is fantastic if you're going to cut die shapes and intricate things that you don't want to try to figure out how to tape on the back. And the regular toner paper is great for things that you want to pop up, things that don't require a lot of tape, just maybe a little bit, and they're bigger pieces. So for this one, I'm using the regular toner paper, not the peel and stick. Peel and stick feels a little thicker, but the toner sheet itself is actually the same.
Okay.
All right, and so I'm going to need that little piece of parchment paper. And
your little...
yeah, you know what? I'm going to grab a new piece of parchment paper. I have them hiding somewhere. Let me grab one of those.
Did I take your parchment? I was moving things around.
Oh yeah, no, here they are. I got them.
I found it.
So
anyone watching, have you guys used the transfer gel yet? Let us know what you've made with it if you have, because it sounds like it's pretty amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can see that show them that piece of cardstock. I don't know if they can see that, but it's got a lot of bumps in it because I did a lot of small pieces.
You can kind of see.
So I'm just going to start fresh with a new one. I'll save that one for when I go back and do more ovals.
We'll put it right here for you so you can take it with you.
Okay.
We don't want you to lose it.
No.
Don't lose your paper.
All right, so I have a new piece of parchment and I have a new piece of 80-pound cardstock, thin cardstock. And then I'm going to lay, now this one, because it is a pattern, I should probably put my glasses on because I do want the stripes to be straight.
I just kind of eyeball things and I call it character if it's off center. It's fine.
That's true. That's true.
I'm like, it's character. It's you don't want things too perfect all the time, right? That's just my excuse. I feel like I can never get anything straight. I don't know what the deal is, but.
Well, I think that might be pretty straight.
I think
straight enough.
Yeah, I think you could,
okay.
That's good.
So I'm going to fold that up and once again, we're going to
put it in there, Megan.
Put it through the laminator. Yeah. And when you're doing smaller pieces like that, you kind of want to just hold on to it just to make sure it gets fed through. Once it's through, then it'll do the same thing that it usually does.
Anticipation.
Yeah. And then I'm going to show them what this looks like because the negative piece is amazing. There are some beautiful FoilMates patterns that create this just wow look when you have it up against the black toner paper. But I'm going to show you something else fun that you can add to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, I have so many techniques. I need to tell it all. I guess I feel like as you start to kind of play with this, things just kind of click as you look at it. You're like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. So it's kind of fun to see how your projects probably have evolved since you started kind of really playing with these.
Absolutely. I'm just so glad you're only an hour away from me so I can come down here and we can do more of these.
Down, Gina.
Okay, so now you can see that is on there. I'm going to pull that off. And
so cool.
I've got red stripes with black, and that's how you use the negative. But, ready?
But there's a but.
We're going to do a but here. So I'm going to lay that on there, and then I have a piece of the silver sequin foil.
What?
I'm going to lay that on top.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to go ahead and run that through again.
Where is this going?
Now, whenever you're doing something like this where you're going to double foil a piece of toner paper, keep your plain foil, do that first.
Okay.
And then do anything that's sparkly second. Because what happens is when you run it through a second time, your first piece is going to turn a little bit more matte. So if you use your sparkly stuff like the silver sequin, that's going to get more matte. So save that to the end. No, you want the sparkly stuff to stay shiny. And it does kind of give a cool two-tone look.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to point out as that's running through, look at that. You've wasted nothing. That film is completely empty. Well, not, I mean, just in the center there. But so you literally can use every bit of foil that you have and you waste nothing.
And check this out. I mean, you could cut that off and then you could make a cool little border across the bottom of your card with that.
Right?
So every little piece.
Like mind blown. Mind blown. You're like, no, add that to this and then it's like the movie Inception where there's so many layers. You're like, I can't even figure this out. Now we've gone so deep. I don't even know.
That's what this is. FoilMates Inception.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna peel this off and look at that.
Look at that.
So now you have
that is amazing.
Yep. You have dual foil.
Foil.
So you have red and then you have the silver.
So
you could do red and blue. And if you have any little pieces that don't transfer, you can either go through again a second time with foil, or you can just use that spot to put your greeting, or just cover it with your little.
That's how we operate. You're like, let's just offset the sentiment. It's fine.
Exactly.
But that is amazing. Look at that.
Isn't that fun?
This is one of those things that like, had I not known kind of what this product was, like if someone gave me a card like this, I'd be like, how did you do that? Like, how did you, it's kind of mind-blowing if you don't know. So we can really wow your friends with making cards with this foil because they're not going to know how you did it, which is what I like, right?
Exactly.
Keep them thinking.
Keep them thinking, yeah.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Cards start to finish in no time at all. You can make a card like this. Another thing, we have a lot of interesting foil mates greetings that I think are really cool, like for weddings and anniversaries and invitations, and maybe things that you don't necessarily need a whole stamp set for because you're only going to use it maybe a few times.
Right.
The foil mates, you've got a pack of them. How many weddings do you go to? Certainly enough foil mates to get you through all of them.
Get you through the wedding season. Mine are starting to dwindle down the older I get, but yes, there will come a time where you're going to a ton, and this is great. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. I love all of your ideas. I love all the products in the foil mates. They work so well together, you guys, and it sounds like you need to grab the foil mates, all the items, along with the transfer gel.
Get the gel too.
Who knew? But I guess you need to grab that as well. Yep. So thanks for watching, you guys. Thank you so much, Gina, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we will see all of you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.